Mexico Major, Day 5. This was Saturday, August 21st. So we had the two semifinals matches today. It was Liquid versus One and BDS versus Empire. The first was Team Liquid versus Team One. So they kicked it off on Oregon. It was a pretty close game, but Liquid ended up taking it 7-5. And then they went to Coastline, and Team One ends up winning it 7-5. So nice little back and forth. They both went max regulation rounds. And then they go to Consulate, and somehow Team One 7-0s Team Liquid. Like Liquid, I don't know. They were just discouraged maybe, or they just fell apart. They didn't have the longevity, or just Team One absolutely exploded. I don't know. But I mean, how often do you see a destruction like this? Like a I like if you, in the pro scene, like Team One was probably maybe like a middle high team coming into this, and Team Liquid had to be one of the absolute top teams. They were, of course, the second place team at SI. They were coming into this event pretty hot, it seemed like, and after coming into the playoffs, certainly pretty hot with their bracket performance. But they got smoked, so it is now going to be Team One in the finals. So, and I guess like technically, I didn't predict this because I think I said I ended up predicting Liquid, but I also did say that I wanted Team One to win. So I guess it's that classic bet against what you want because either you're gonna win the bet or you're gonna get what you want, I guess. So that was the first match. The second, Empire versus BDS. They started out on Cafe. It went 7-5 in favor of BDS. And then second game, just like in the first match, went 7-5 in favor of the other team, Empire, on Coastline. And this is an interesting game because I think I noted it on the Empire wins the game 7-5. They win by 2 rounds. None of their players were even positive on kills, and they had only one even on it. So in the rounds that they were losing, they were like getting smoked, and in the rounds that they were winning, they were still fairly close. Intuition would suggest. So interesting game, and then and then it goes to the last game, and so I had to go do something for the first part of this game. And when I was able to look at it, when I was able to start watching it, Empire was up 5-1, and then they won that round, so they were up 6-1. And of course, as I said in the previous video, I predicted and I wanted Empire to win. And so Empire was up 6-1. So I was like, all right, well, they're going to win. They just got to win one round. They win it this round or the next round or the next round. And one of these rounds. Empire wins 5 in a row to push it to overtime. Then they win the next round. They go up 7-6. They need one of the other 2 overtime rounds. But thank God Empire somehow wins both of them. This was I think it was attacker sided. I think both teams won 5 of their 6 attacks in regulation, and then in overtime, I'm not sure. I think Empire got double attack, but they lost their first attack, so it was 2 defenses. I think one in overtime and then 1 attack. And then it was in the 15th round. It was like maybe in the first minute or minute and a half of the round, and Shaiko got really aggressive on Yellow Door. They were playing Garage, and he got punished for it. He got killed. Empire killed BDS's best performing player, and they just had to pick early-ish in the round, and then they executed, and they killed them all, and they won. And I think they ended up planting, and it actually came down to a 1v1. But the last one was Bride, and he was above, and there was like 15 seconds left on the fuser. There just wasn't enough time for him to get down there. So at that point, Empire had already won the round. But yeah, it came down to a 1v1, came down to round 15, when it looked like, just like in Team 1 versus Liquid, it was going to be an absolute smoke. It looked like this was going to be a 7-1 win. So almost a nice mirror. Although in the other one, it was Liquid won, Team 1 won, and then Team 1 won the last match. And this one, it was BDS wins. Oh, wait, no, that would be. That is what happened here, right? Yeah, no, it would have been almost a perfect mirror if except for Empire would have won 7-1 instead of 7-0. Right? That's how that Liquid won, BDS, Empire. Yeah, no, actually it would have been. So that would have been very interesting. So now all there's left to play is one grand finals best of 5 between Empire and Team 1, and I'll be perfectly happy to see either of these teams win. I think this will be back-to-back international major wins for Empire if they win, because the last international major, so international competition that wasn't the last 2 SIs, Empire won Raleigh, which was the event prior to SI 2020. So they'd be back-to-back winners. But I think just for storyline purposes, I guess I want Team 1 to win. I don't know. Just in terms of the team I like better innately, I guess I wanted Empire to win, but Team One, like you can't deny, like this would be an incredible comeback story, event wide comeback story. Like we've seen some good, some pretty good loser bracket runs to get to a certain point, and over the course of the grand finals of various SIs, there have been a nice comeback, like the G2 comeback in 2018, SSG's comeback in 2020, and so on. But this would be just an event wide comeback. They were down. They lost their first 3 games of group of 6, and then they had to win the next 3 under specific circumstances. With they had to win and lose a certain number of rounds, and they had to hope Cyclops didn't win or even go to overtime against whoever it was, like BDS. So what do we have? We have a Group D team, and we have a group. What was Team One? They were Group A. And actually, if BDS went to the finals, it would have been 2 Group A teams in the finals. But no, so Group A and Group D. Team One versus Empire. I'm looking forward to this one, and hope it's a good one.